strategics which are in the offing soon. So let's get a pulse from who better than Nissan Joseph himself, CEO at Metro Brands, joining in the show right now. Nissan, hi, great to have you on ET Now once again. And since most of your product offerings fall in the premium category, tell me, how much of a relief are you anticipating from GST rationalization? Would a move from 18% to 5% bring in the customers in throngs?
Well, I think anytime you see a movement in price like that, it bodes well for the industry. I don't think we're hopeful about 18 going to 5, but we are definitely considering 12 going to 5 on our Walkway business. Walkway has roughly 10% of our stores and slightly higher in terms of the percentage of pairs sold in the company. Because they sell at a much lower price point. But I think what's more important is that, we continue to stay focused on taking care of the aspirational customer in India. And aspiration comes at different price points, right? It's just not always at under 1,000 or over 5,000 or whatever the numbers might be. And we've stayed focused on making sure that we deliver value to our consumers at all price points. And, the GST may come and go, but of course, if the GST is reduced, it would have a good impact on consumption. But that's not how we run our business. We run our business on making sure that we take care of the controllables that we have in front of us.
Right. And also help us understand in terms of the industry, Mr. Joseph, do you expect this GST rationalization, to whatever extent it might be, could this lead to a shift in consumer demand from unorganized and local players to now branded and organized players such as yourself?
Yeah, we're seeing that shift regardless of the GST happening. It's not a question of that the GST was an inhibitor to that. It was a matter of having presence and scale in that channel of distribution, in that channel of shopping. We have started expanding our Walkway chain, and that's where we think while that consumer doesn't have to grow necessarily, in our business, over 70% of the sales come from the unorganized market. So even if it just starts to shift at a normal rate, we would see some significant increases. Obviously, if the GST were to go down to 5%, that would be accelerated because I think you create a little bit more parity between an unorganized player and an organized player.
Absolutely. But Nissan, the other point is, how much of the benefit is going to get down or trickle down to the consumer in the first place?
I think we would see a lot of it trickle straight down to it, because what we are concerned about really is the net sales revenue that we cash in, which is net of GST taxes. So, we would definitely turn those savings and it would move price points. And as you know, there's a good price demand curve that happens. And we see that there's a considerable lift in sales as price moves down. So we would intend on passing that on to the consumer through reduced price points that they would see.
Becomes 5%, what's going to be the impact on your margins and perhaps volume growth?
Yeah, it's going to have no effect on our margins because all our margins are calculated net of GST. But on the flip side, in our Walkway chain, especially where we sell a significant number of goods under the 1,000 rupee mark, we will see some increase in consumption.
Okay, so Walkway is going to be a brand to look out for. Your price offering over there is between 300 and 3,000. So that is going to be a significant segment of the business to watch out for. But another aspect is that you've recently announced an exclusive partnership with Clarks for India and neighboring markets as well. Help us understand how this fits into your portfolio strategy and what growth potential are you seeing from it?
Yeah, so Clarks has been in the country many, many years and is a premium brand. We've carried Clarks in our stores and done very well with it. So when the opportunity arose for us to get an exclusive license with Clarks directly, it's a very exciting proposition for us. It also has multiple legs in terms of how to sell Clarks in India. Obviously, we were selling it very well through our Metro and Mochi stores, so that was a big plus for us. We also think it has the ability to have its own standalone exclusive brand stores, EBOs spread through the country. And of course, the e-com piece in India, as you know, is a very potent, powerful piece. And, the opportunity to have Clarks play in that through Metro is also very exciting for us. So it also appeals to a consumer that's more the premium segment for us. And, that's why we've always focused Metro Mochi business on.
Interesting. So what numbers are we looking at? 928 stores already across 206 cities. What's the target for the financial year and even beyond, perhaps?
I think, the way we look at that is really, we're going to open as many stores as we see as the right opportunities come by. Real estate, as you know, is a little bit of an art and a little bit of a science. So it's all about location, location, location. And, we want to make sure that we get the right locations at the right price. As many of those as we can find, we will open stores that we're fortunate enough that we have a war chest. So we're not restricted by any capital issues that we have. We're really want to make sure that we open stores that are able to be profitable for us, and it's not opening stores for the sake of opening stores. So we tend not to get fixated on a number of stores. We'd rather be fixated on the quality of stores that we open.
Art, science, and I would add another subject to it, math as well, right? It has to make business sense by the end of it.
Yeah, that's the scientific part of it, right? So.
Right. But tell me, I mean, is there any strategy at hand, any particular geographies that you would be prioritizing, tier 2, 3 cities, or would it largely be metros?
Yeah, so, if you look at our penetration today in metro cities and tier 1, it's 60% of our chain is in those markets. So that's number one. But we look at it individually by banner, right? So our Metro Mochi stores obviously will see growth coming not only from metro cities in tier 1, but also tier 2 towns. Whereas our Walkway stores will be focused more on tier 2 and tier 3 towns for their growth. Crocs will continue to be a tier 1, tier 2 play. Crocs will be a tier 1, tier 2 play. So it's not really a corporate strategy of, where do we want to grow? We really look at each of those standalone business units individually to ensure that we're capitalizing on the opportunity that we have in front of us.
Okay, so that's the take on your store expansion. But during your earnings, Mr. Joseph, you had guided for new developments. One of them was the launch of 3 new Foot Locker stores before the festive season. Help us understand if there's any update on that, any openings so far, and what kind of consumer traction are you expecting from this format?
Yeah, so we've been able to open 2 of those 3 already, which is the good news. We opened one at the Mall of India in Noida, and we opened one on Linking Road, and we're very pleased with the sales in both those locations. It continues to reinforce our belief that India is ready for a chain like Foot Locker. It also piggybacks on the fact that, India has become more athletically conscious, whether it's from a sports standpoint or whether it's from a sneaker culture standpoint. India has definitely caught up to more along the global trends of where that's been. So that was to us a good validation that the Foot Locker concept does work in India. And we will definitely open our 3rd one soon to be announced before the festive season, as we said at our earnings call.
Nice. Is it going to be in Mumbai itself?
As of now, yes.
There's definitely room for more Foot Lockers here. One can tell you that. But what about Fila outlets as well? Because you were planning to open some exclusive ones, right, in the second half of the fiscal. Tell me how significant this diversification into premium sportswear and athleisure is going to be for you, because it's definitely the rage.
Yeah, well, I think it's started becoming more of the rage post-COVID, right? I think we've all been tuned to comfort and casual wear post-COVID. We do plan on opening more Fila stores before the end of this fiscal year, and that's still on track for that. We've had a long road trying to reset the brand in terms of the first step of it being to liquidate the inventory that didn't fit with where the brand was going, number one. And then number 2 is the repositioning. And repositioning is not an event. It's really a process that takes some time. But we're confident that we're seeing green shoots in our metro business from the Fila launches that we've done. We are seeing some good positive results on our e-commerce sites with the repositioning that's happening. But it's not an overnight success story as with anything, right? Everybody else thinks it's overnight success, but the person that walked that road knows it was a long, hard road. And we're starting to walk that road, and we're quite pleased to see where it's going. So we also know that premium athletic footwear in India is going to become much more of a staple item today, in the future than it is today. And I think we wanted to make sure that Metro positioned itself to play well in the athletic segment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And while the path is, is going to be a tough one, but the comfort of Metro shoes will always be there, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Nissan, great having you on the show. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Okay, and to commodities then.
Well, absolutely. We've been focused